The next section of the podcast, Stonegate to Minstergate, starts here. On the corner of Coffee Yard is the building which once housed Richardson's Bakery. On the opposite side of the lane to Coffee Yard at number 33, you can see a red devil on the corner that depicts the printer's apprentice who hasn't learnt to be careful and drops his first case of type. At 35 Stonegate, where a Bible hangs above the door, was the stained glass works run by the Knowles family. John Ward Knowles originally founded the firm in Coney Street and moved to Stonegate later. Opposite number 35, you'll see Little Betty's Cafe at number 46. Up until recently, this was called Taylor's. Just past Little Betty's on the right is number 37 Stonegate. This was Greenwood's the Antique Dealers. Audrey Peace recalls a special royal visit to the shop.
I saw Queen Mary twice at the antique shop, Greenwood's in Stonegate. I didn't know it was. I suppose I'd been wandering around playing. And I went in and told my mother about this posh lady and this big hat. And my dad says, she's seen old mother. And that was his words. And then I came in and said I'd seen her again. Because apparently she went quite regular, unannounced, to Greenwood's. She just looked posh.
Quite sort of
stately, yeah. Silver grey, I think she was in. It was grey. It was hat she had on that I couldn't get over, you know. She just got, lifted in and was going in, and I just stopped. And her passed me. I can't think where. Knowing me, I could have been going to the Minster, because it was a favourite place of mine.
Just before York Antique Centre on your right was Mrs. Clark's Bible Depot, remembered by many people who lived and worked in Stonegate. Jill Murray, whose grandfather was John Ward Knowles, remembers Edith, the lady who ran it, as always being in her dressing gown and slippers. Edith had been married to a sea captain, a commander, and was, in Jill's words, an absolute character. Jill Douglas, an artist who worked on Stonegate, also remembers Mrs. Clark with affection.
Mrs. Clark, yeah, I only met her once. And I loved it because she had, it was just full of Bible texts. That's all she sold, and cards. And on the window, on the door, it had a little piece of paper about, 4 inches by 5 inches. And it just said, under divine protection. She didn't have any insurance. Under divine protection by the door handle. Which was lovely. And I just walked in one day and I said, I'm Jill, I live in the lighthouse. And I've heard about you. For years I've heard about you. I've never met you. She took me into the back and she had me praying within 5 minutes.
At number 41, which is now the Antique Centre, was Swallow and Barrier Hairdressers. Angela Fenton started work there in 1951. She recalled the shop was spread over several floors, offering haircuts for men and women, beauty treatments, and also wig making.
And there was the seats at the top of the stairs for people waiting, and then Mr. Barry's cubicles at the front. So you had to bowl the dryers in and pull the curtain across. And they all thought nobody could hear when they were in there. But of course there were, a gap at the top, and to be careful who was talking to who, But yes, so it was hard graft really. Shampoos and sets and perms with machines. We'd no rollers or anything then. It was all finger waves and pin curls. We used to clean wigs in petrol and then swing them round like that outside in the backyard and peg them on the line. Set them and then put them in this massive gas oven downstairs to dry, to dry. Make crepe hair, all those sort of things we had to do. It was really hard graft.
You can now either carry on up to the top of Stonegate, where, at the junction with Low Petergate and the shop that displays the name Henry Hardcastle, you can go straight up towards the Minster to Minster Gates. Here you'll see the figure of Minerva at the junction of Minster Gates, the goddess of wisdom resting on a pile of books with an owl and a theatrical mask which denotes a bookseller. It was here that the York Book Club members met. Or you can now walk back down Stonegate Coffee Yard and end your visit at Barley Hall.